What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. In the last episode, we completed all 3 of the Korok trials here in Korok Forest, and in this episode, well, it's almost time for us to leave this region and go towards the next Divine Beast. However, before we do that, there's one more shrine here that I would like to complete. Now, in order to do this, we're going to make our way over to the Snowfield Stable, even though it is a little further out of the way. But still, we should be able to just grab Epona and get to where the shrine is faster than like we would have if we decided to walk it. And like this next shrine is a little unique to say the least. I actually did run into this shrine by accident on my personal playthrough, and it took me forever to complete just because I kind of overlooked like one massive tell that there is at the very beginning that makes navigation so much easier, because basically this shrine is one of those shrines where getting to the shrine is the actual trial. So I'll make sure I point that tell out to you guys once we get there. But I also kind of figured out like my own guaranteed solution to the shrine, so I'll probably use that just because it's never failed me, and I think it might be a tad better than the intended method. So we'll have to see, guys. We'll have to see. What's kind of weird is like the official guidebook for that shrine really doesn't give you a whole lot of hints either, but I suppose like it is easy enough to figure out if you pay attention. And the solution is kind of similar to the Lost Woods, but also kind of different. So if you've gone through the Lost Woods already, you'll probably be able to pick up what the game is trying to tell you very, very quickly. I think when I first went through that shrine, though, was before I did the Lost Woods, like on my personal playthrough, which is why I really didn't think about that. Anyways, I believe last time we used Epona, like, we left her towards the mountains where we took on that maze shrine, right? And oddly enough, that's sort of where we're going again, except instead of, like, taking a left to go towards the maze shrine, we're gonna take a right and go towards a completely different shrine. So, yeah, kind of interesting, I suppose. We probably will be making use of Epona quite a bit in this video, because once we finish up this shrine, I'll probably go back towards, like, the stable near the Woodland Tower, because then there's a path we can just go right along with Epona that will take us directly to, like, Death Mountain, which is where the next Divine Beast is going to be located. So get excited, guys. We're finally going to be making our way up Death Mountain. Like, I've gotten so many comments over the past like couple of weeks asking where I'm going next, and oh man, I love this music. Whenever you hear this music, by the way, it means that there is one of the dragons nearby. I can't actually see where it is right now, but that's sort of like your key to look around, find the dragon, and then maybe if you're lucky enough, you can, like, hunt for scales or horns or fangs or whatever else the dragons give you, because those are beneficial in, like, upgrading your armor and stuff like that. And that is sort of something I'm working on. Like, while I was sick, I was, like, thinking of various different guide videos that I could potentially make in the future. And, one of them was, like, rupee farming, another was, like, dragon parts farming, and maybe a couple more. Like, if you guys have any ideas, you can feel free to leave those in the comments down below. But, I'm gonna wait a little bit until, like, I'm fully recovered to make those videos, just because, you know, I want to make sure I sound normal when I make those videos, because those are, like, the types of videos that people might come from random YouTube searches and find my channel. So I want to make sure I sound normal and not like a nasally mess, because that would certainly turn some people off. Anyways, with that being said, here we go. Traveler from beyond these woods, you are now faced with a trial. Find the shrine hidden in these dark ruins. So yes, this is the Shrouded Shrine. Obviously, it's very, very hard to see where we're going. So real quick, let me drop this spear because I really don't need it. And I'm going to exchange it for this torch because, well, even though this won't give us, like, the best amount of visibility, it's still better than nothing. So here's the deal, basically. There's a bunch of these weird, like, bird statues that you can light on fire. And, as far as I can tell, if you follow the direction that they're pointing, they will lead you to the shrine. Now, here's the thing. what I like to do is a little bit different. So certainly, yeah, I do follow like the first couple of, you know, bird statues. But then, once I sort of like make my way to one of these walls, I tend to just follow the walls because eventually this will lead you to where the shrine is. Now, you can feel free to explore this entire area, and you will find like a lot of things in here. There's certainly a ton of random chests that you can open up and find various different weapons or goodies in. But honestly, I'm not too interested in spending a whole lot of time in here and potentially getting more lost. So instead, we're just sort of going to follow these, you know, ancient ruins around, and eventually it should bring us exactly to where we need to be. So yeah, here's another one of these bird statues, meaning that we are indeed on the correct path. I think we actually need to go down there, but real quick, I want to go all the way down here because, oh, I thought there was something else down here. I guess not. Alright, never mind then. So, yeah, let's head down here, and, we pretty much should be done, because, yeah, here's the pedestal that we need to activate. Now, how we activate this is a little bit interesting. Let's light these few remaining torches, because, trust me, you're gonna want to get all the visibility you can right now, because, yeah, directly in front of us is, a rather large Hinox, and we need to fight him, since the ball that we need to activate the pedestal is around his neck. So yeah, this should be fun. Oh man, I think this is actually the first time we've ever fought a Hinox. Like, we fought a Stalnox, which is like the dead version of them, which honestly kind of easier, but basically the same principles do apply. If you can hit him right in the eye, you will do a bunch of damage, and then, well, you can just like sort of go ham with your sword. I wouldn't recommend staying too close to him though once he gets up, because he can sort of like jump in the air and fall down on you, which will deal a ton of damage. So do yourself a favor, shoot him in the eye, go in for a quick couple hits, and then reset so you can try and shoot him in the eye again. Surprisingly, we're sort of getting lucky because I think he's sort of stuck right now, meaning that we can pretty much just shoot him as much as we want with our bow. And also, I think he lit himself on fire, which was kind of funny. Anyways, though, that should do it for this Hinox fight. Overall, they're not really too hard, especially if you do sort of get them stuck like that. I think the Hinox can also, like, pick up large chunks of the earth and, like, chuck those at you, so you might want to be careful about that if you do stand too far away. Anyways, they drop a lot of goodies when you kill them, so make sure you grab, like, everything that you can, since might be useful somewhere else down the line. Alright, I think we got everything good, so let's grab this orb and place it in the pedestal, because guess what? We are now essentially done with this whole trial and shrine combination. Like, we have to go inside the shrine, of course, and get our spirit orb, but otherwise, we are done, and then we can just, like, quick travel out of here and, go towards, like, the woodland stable. Now, one thing that I do wish this game did, and I kind of wish it did this in the Lost Woods as well, but I guess that's a little bit different considering the Korok trials are a thing that exists, but, you would think that, like, when you complete the side quest and even complete the shrine, that this area would, like, sort of light up, allowing you to explore it normally with normal visibility, right? Because there's still a ton of, like, secrets in here that you can certainly find. However, that is not the case. Like, that doesn't happen at all. This place will forever remain secluded and shrouded by the darkness, so even after we finish off the shrine, I'm still not going to take the time to explore around here just because it's way too dark, it would be super tedious, and then of course I risk, like, getting lost. So, yeah, kind of annoying. And I kind of wish, like, that happened in the Lost Woods as well. Like, if you go through the Lost Woods, you know, pull the Master Sword, bam, the fog lifts, and then you can just go and explore that area all you want. But then, of course, that becomes a problem since the Korok trials wouldn't be able to exist if, like, you know, the fog was lifted after you pulled the Master Sword. So, I guess the Lost Woods sort of gets a bye. But this area, for sure, like, I definitely think they should have, lifted the darkness, like, after you complete this shrine, because the game does something similar to that in different areas. Like, for instance, in the maze shrines, like, when you first enter the maze, you can see the shrine in the center, but then after you actually get to the shrine and complete it, the sort of gates blocking your path open up, allowing you to, like, go from the center of the maze directly out. So, I don't know why they just, like, didn't do it here. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But whatever. That being said, we're done here, so let's go over to the Woodland Stable. There, we'll pick up Epona again, and be on our way, because we're about to go up Death Mountain, ladies and gentlemen. Get excited. And I realize now that probably sounded like incredibly sarcastic, but I can sincerely say that I am excited to be going towards another region and, like, the next Divine Beast. It's just that because I'm still sick, you know, we're sort of stuck in, like, this monotone area of voice, because if I, like, have too high of an inflection or too low of an inflection, my voice will just, like, completely give out, or worse, I'll, like, stumble into a coughing fit, and that'll just be bad. So, we're here right now. We're, like, right at the point where I can record, and hopefully not, like, just cough my lungs up while doing it. I will say this, though, I do feel a little bit better than I did even yesterday, so there is, like, some marginal improvement there in my health. It's just that it's taking a while, so, you know, hopefully, like, over the next couple of days, we'll be back up to snuff. Until then, though, we're just gonna make these sort of, less energetic type of videos, if you will. Not because I'm, you know, not feeling it, it's just because I'm still sick. Alright, that being said, I think I've over-explained myself enough. Let's get out of here and make our way towards Death Mountain, which I believe we can get to by following this trail, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, we can pretty much just, like, let go of the controller and let Epona take us directly to where we need to go. And, it should be a pretty enjoyable ride. Now, something I do want to mention is, I asked a question to you guys, like, a while back about getting the extra spurs on your horses. And, I got so many replies in the comments. So thank you so much to you guys who answered my question. And how you get those bonus spurs is pretty simple, actually. All you have to do is feed your horse an Endura carrot, which I think I do have a couple of those in my inventory. It's just that I sort of forgot to actually, you know, use those and feed them to Epona. So I think, you know, next time I remember, I will do that. That way we can get those extra spurs, which are temporary, by the way. Like, they will not last forever, but, you know, it might be worth, like, feeding Epona a couple of Endura carrots just to get some extra spurs here or there on those extra long journeys, because there are some areas coming up where we will be using Epona to cross, like, some extra long distances, and those could come in handy. However, as many of you guys know, there are, like, a couple of other special horses in the game that we may want to get as well. Like, I will be getting those, don't worry about it. It's just that right now we're sort of not in, like, the best area to go after those horses just yet, so we're going to put off doing that until it's a little more convenient for us. But, I've gotten a lot of comments, like, asking about those specific horses, on my videos. So, just know now, I will be getting them, and I will tame them and everything like that. But, just not yet. Anyway, yeah, you're going to want to make sure you take a left at that fork in the road, just because if you continue going straight, that basically leads you towards Zora's domain. And obviously, Epona will just, like, stop at the end of that road. So, make sure you hang a left, and, this will zigzag you all the way around and eventually lead you into Death Mountain. Now, we will get to a point where Epona, like, can't traverse up Death Mountain, but we'll take her as far as we can go. And even though it's not, like, the fastest way up Death Mountain, there's a couple of areas that we will pass by that sort of make the longer journey worth it, if you will. Plus, I kind of want to save my 2 charges of Rivali's Gale for making our way to the top of the tower in this area, and you'll see why once we get over there. While we travel there, I do have a question for some of you guys, and this is mostly directed at those of you who have already gone up Death Mountain. But, I'm curious as to how easy or hard it was for you guys to figure out the solution. And I suppose it's not really that big of a deal if I spoil this, since, we'll find out on our own in just a few moments. But basically, as you go higher up Death Mountain, it gets hotter and hotter, since, you know, it is an active volcano after all. Now, your first thought is probably to strip down Link and make him as cool as possible, but that only works for a short amount of time. Like, eventually, you will just, like, burst into flames. So the solution is to either eat a bunch of food and run for it, or find something that will make you invincible from fire. And here's the thing, like, on my personal playthrough, I approached Death Mountain from the complete opposite side and didn't find this stable until after I made a few attempts at going up the mountain. And of course, at that stable, there's an NPC that you can talk to, and she will sell you like an elixir that makes you fire resistant. So you can also make that elixir yourself, but really, you only use it once, so it's kind of easier just to buy it from that NPC on, like, the one case when you need it, rather than going around and looking for all the ingredients and cooking it up yourself. But I do want to know what you guys did to get up Death Mountain your first time. Like, I'm always interested in hearing about all the different ways that people play this game and solve different, like, problems that they come across. I think it is one of the game's, like, best features. Before we do any of that, though, of course, we need to complete this shrine, so shouldn't take us too long. I think this one is pretty straightforward. We got metal makes a path. Yeah, this one's not too bad at all. So first things first, let's grab stasis. Even though the name has metal in it, we won't use magnesis until a little bit later on. We want to freeze this boulder in place, that way we can safely make it to the second layer. And now, here's where we can use magnesis. So, I'm going to try and play it safe here, and wow, that was really bad reaction time. Alright, this is more dangerous, but thankfully, that did attach to it. If you missed that, yeah, the boulder will hit you, and it probably will knock you into the lava, trust me. That's happened to me before. Alright, so let's try and keep this thing around, just because I really don't want, like, another one of these things spawning, so should be safe there. And now we can see what's inside this chest. Got ourselves a nice broadsword. Don't really need that though, so you know what? You can stay inside that chest, and you, my friend, are coming with me. So, yeah, really that's all there is to this shrine, believe it or not. Like, we're kind of already done. The last thing that we need to do is use this metallic boulder to basically create a path for ourselves. Kind of like, you know, the name of this shrine pretty much gives it away. But, yeah, so no matter what, there's going to be like 4 boulders falling down this ramp. But if you just use the metallic one, place it directly in front of you, you can use it to push the other boulders out of the way. And guess what? At the very top of the slide is the end of the shrine. So, yeah, pretty straightforward, guys. Not too hard at all. So, let's get our spirit orb and be on our way, because we got a full freaking volcano to climb still, man. Like, there's a lot to do. Alright, so now that we're done, dang, 11 spirit orbs. Holy crud, dude. Probably will get 12 by the time we reach the next city, because I'm thinking about it now, and really, I don't think there's too many shrines along the way. Like, there's a couple we could do, but they're kind of out of the way, and I'd rather save them until, you know, after we, like, get to the city, since once we get to the city, there is a certain, like, set of armor that we can buy that will protect us from just burning out in the normal environment on Death Mountain. So, sort of makes sense to, like, wait to go to those other shrines until after we get that gear. Anyways, for our initial trip up the mountain, we need to first talk to this lady right over here.
Hi.
Hello. If you're stopping by Foothill Stable, then you're probably headed to Goron City. Indeed I am. I thought so. Hold on, buddy. Are you really headed to Goron City dressed like that? Yeah, what's the problem? See, this is how tourists get a bad rep. And that place is sheer cliff after sheer cliff, and it gets so hot past the second checkpoint that your body will catch fire. Normally I wouldn't stop a stranger from heading to their doom, but I kinda like ya. So I guess I have no choice but to sell you these fireproof elixirs. They can protect you from the burning air. Even Goron City regulars usually take at least 3 elixirs with them. It's 60 rupees for 1, 110 for 2, and 150 for 3. Buying in bulk pays off here. Alright, so we'll play it safe and take the max amount of 3. Alright, here's your fireproof elixir. Hooray! So this gives us like 6 minutes of free time. If you have that many, you should be able to make it to Goron City no problem. Alright, so I highly doubt we'll need all 3, but it is useful just in case. So now that we've got those, we're basically all set to start traveling up towards the peak of Death Mountain. Our first stop, of course, is going to be the tower for this region. That way we can better see exactly where we're going. Now, the tower's, like, directly in front of us, but, you know, instead of, like, spending time climbing up the mountain ourselves, I'm just going to follow, like, this trail and take Epona as far as we can go. Now, here's the thing. This trail, it might not seem like it, but, it can be pretty dangerous. Like, there's a lot of fire chews that you might need to worry about, and, of course, they can set Epona on fire, but on top of that, I believe we will actually encounter, a couple guardians along the way. So, hang on, let me swap to something good here. The Master Sword, thankfully, will do its full amount of damage versus the guardian, so let's just stun him in place. And now, once he's stunned, what you want to do is take out the legs. Not only will this grant you, like, more ancient materials, but, it will immobilize this guardian, making it a whole heck of a lot easier to deal with. So, generally speaking, this is how I go about taking out mobile guardians. It's like one of the best methods to deal with them, especially if you're grinding for ancient materials. Now, obviously, of course, there are better ways to defeat guardians, like shooting them with ancient arrows or reflecting their lasers back at them. But both of those methods are kind of lame, if you ask me, and I think they do give you less overall ancient materials. So for the most part, I probably will be actually fighting the guardians during this playthrough until at least later on, like maybe by the time we get into Hyrule Castle, I'll just like go about reflecting them or using ancient arrows and stuff like that. Until then though, I actually will take some time to fight them because I think it's more fun. Even though guardians, they are kind of simple to defeat once you know like the optimal method, it's still like way more interesting than, you know, shooting an arrow at least. So, there's that. So, hopefully, if there's someone out there who has been, like, struggling against the Guardians, that's, like, a pretty good way to fight them. Although, you do need a weapon that is strong enough to take out those legs in 1 or 2 hits. So, use something like two-handed, or, if you have it, the Master Sword is probably the most ideal weapon since it is pretty quick and does, like, 60 damage versus the Guardians. Alright, so this is the second checkpoint. We cannot take Epona up any farther, so we're going to leave her there. But, here's the thing. If I stay close enough to, like, the left side of these checkpoints, I'll sort of be safe to the point where Link won't burn up just from being close to this lava. And I kind of want to keep it that way because, you know, we only have, like, 3 of those fireproof elixirs. And I would like to save those until after we get to the tower in this area. And I can do that by just, like, you know, staying along the outskirts of this area. So, might make it a little bit harder to get to the tower, but, in the long run, it should be better. And hello, buddy. Normally, I would just go and fight that guardian, but, like I said, I don't want to get too close to that lava. So, we're just gonna hang out here, and hey, you know what? How about you don't shoot me with that giant laser, buddy? That'd be great. Alright, so, crud, you need to, like, not be here, and, yeah, it doesn't look like I can sort of stun him, so, new plan, let's just chill here for a little bit, wait for him to, like, go off the attack, and then we should be able to make a run for it as he makes his way back. Don't look at me, please. Oh, no. Alright, we should be far enough away that we should be safe. Oh, jeez, that was so close. Alright, we're good, though. I think we're good. Because, yeah, I don't think he'll go down the rest of the mountain since it is kind of steep. and he might risk, like, toppling over. So I think we're in the clear, and this is partially the reason why I wanted to save my 2 charges of Revali's Gale, because I knew I would probably need them to, like, scale this side of the cliff in order to reach the tower while also avoiding that guardian. Now, the tower itself is actually sort of in that area where Link can burn up, but here's the thing. Because the tower is, like, really high in the sky, its altitude actually makes it cooler. So, once we get to the top of the tower, we should be fine. And, we can completely avoid using one of our elixirs for at least this first leg of our journey, which, believe it or not, will help out a ton. So we are almost there. Thankfully, we are past that guardian, so we're pretty much as safe as we could be. And, you know what? Might as well just make this easy on myself. And, we'll use Revali's Gale to go right to the top of Eldin's tower. And look at that. Gave me the perfect amount of altitude that I needed. So, let's activate this thing. Sheikah Tower activated. Scanning area. And there we go. The entire Eldin region. Pretty big. Regional map extracted. And yeah, there's a lot of lava all around this place, man. Alright, so now that we got that, Goron City really isn't too far from here, but before we go there, I kind of forgot to do this at the beginning of the episode. So let's travel back to Korok Forest, since, I have quite a few Korok seeds that I would very much like to turn into some inventory space. So, yeah, we're gonna do that now. And, I think, honestly, I'm just gonna put, like, all of them, or as many as I can, into my weapon slots, because even though, like, we have a ton of slots in our inventory for weapons, I still have, like, max inventory all the time, mainly because I'm a freaking hoarder, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to have more inventory space, so might as well do it. So hello, Hestu, Shalaka to you too, my man. Weapon stash and 25 Korok seeds. Jeez, I don't even know how expensive these are gonna get by the time we're done. Like, I know the minimum amount of Korok seeds you need to collect in order to get, like, all the inventory space that you can get is, like, 441-ish. So, we've only collected about half of that so far. Well, less than half of that, actually. But, oh my gosh, 35, dude. Alright, we might be able to get, like, one more weapon upgrade if we're lucky. But, I mean, hey, 3 extra slots, I guess that's not too bad. Alright, Hestu, don't let me down, my man. This one better cost less than 70. 45, I can do 45. Sadly, yeah, that's gonna be the last one we can do, because I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, like, the next upgrade would cost 55 Korok seeds, which I do not have. Yeah, I suppose we can just, like, put our other Korok seeds into other stashes, so let's do bow a couple of times. Might be helpful, even though I very rarely have to worry about, like, my bow stash ever getting filled up, but, you know, whatever, might as well do it while we're here. Save us the time later on, I guess. So yeah, like, I already have 2 empty slots, like, third one, not really gonna make that much of a difference. But you know what, let's do it again anyways, let's go. 12 Korok seeds, I can do that. It's gonna be the last bow upgrade we can do, but we might be able to do a shield upgrade. Hopefully we can. just because I kind of want to, like, spend as many Korok seeds as I possibly can while we're here now. So, let's see. Can we do shield? Yes, we can. Alright. I think that's actually going to be our last upgrade, because no way, like, the next upgrade for anything is only going to cost 7 Korok seeds. But there we go. Another spot in our shield stash has been opened up for us. Thank you very much, Hestu, my man. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, 10 Korok seeds. Didn't think so. Figured I would check, but, I kind of already knew. Alright, now that we're done, though, what do you say we return over to Eldin Tower, and then we can start making our way towards Goron City. We should actually be able to make our way to, like, the next Divine Beast within the next episode or two, I would imagine. Like, there's really not a whole lot we need to do in between when we get to Goron City and when we can board the next Divine Beast. So, should be pretty fun, guys. Should be pretty fun. But, until then, I think that is where I'm going to end off this video. So if you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more of my videos, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.